What is happiness? Is it wealth, fame, power, or influence? The world tells us that happiness comes from money, success, and influence. But if they were true, why do so many wealthy people miserable? Why do celebrities and powerful figures struggle with anxiety, depression, and even addiction? And why do those who have everything still feel empty? Jesus gives us a different answer. He teaches that true happiness, beatitude, is not found in material things, but in a relationship with God and love for others. In today's gospel, Jesus gives us the Beatitudes, a roadmap to true joy. He tells us, "Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Blessed are those who mourn. Blessed are the peacemakers." Dear friends, at first, these statements seem shocking. How can suffering, sorrow, hunger, and poverty and persecution be blessings? Jesus is showing us that true happiness is not about what we have, but about how we love and trust in God. Dear friends, Jesus' teaching is radical. It turns the world's values upside down. Society tells us to seek comfort and power, but Jesus calls us to humility and service. Let us break it down. Blessed are the poor in spirit. This doesn't mean we must be financially poor, but that we should depend on God rather than wealth. For example, Saint Francis of Assisi left behind his riches to serve the poor, and he found deeper joy. Blessed are those who mourn. When we grieve over sin or the suffering of others, we open ourselves to God's healing. For example, Mary Magdalene wept for her sins, and Jesus forgave her, making her a witness to his resurrection. Blessed are the meek. Meekness is not weakness. It is strength under control. For example, Nelson Mandela forgave those who imprisoned him and became a symbol of peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. In a world filled with division, God calls us to bring people together. For example, Mother Teresa brought peace through simple acts of love. Dear friends, true happiness is not found in what we have, but in whom we trust and how we love. How do we live these Beatitudes in today's world? Dear friends, we live in a world focused on self-promotion. Social media teaches us to seek validation through likes, money, and fame. But Jesus challenges us to live differently. Imagine a businessman donates millions to charity but treats his employees unfairly. Is he truly living the Beatitudes? A social media influencer preaches kindness but ignores those suffering around him. Is that true compassion? A politician speaks of justice but manipulates the truth for personal gain. Does that bring real peace? Jesus calls us to action. The Beatitudes are not just words to admire. They are a call to live differently. Dear friends, the world tells us to look out for ourselves, but Jesus tells us to look out for others. Dear friends, how can we apply the Beatitudes in our daily lives? First, feed the hungry, donate to a food bank, or help a struggling neighbor. 2. Comfort the sorrowful, visit the sick, befriend the lonely, and listen to those in pain. 3. stand for truth. Even when it is unpopular, uphold Christian values. Fourth, live simply. Instead of hoarding wealth, use your blessings to help others. Fifth, forgive and love. In a world of revenge, be a person of peace. Sixth, pray and trust in God. Depend on God rather than material security. For example, in the year 2018, a young man named Brent J. forgave the woman who killed his brother in court, even hugging her. The world was shocked. That was the power of mercy. That was the power of mercy, the power of Beatitudes. Dear friends, the happiest people are not those who have the most, but those who give the most. We need to choose the right path. The early Christian teaching, Didache, begins with this statement. There are two ways, one of life and one of death. And there is a great difference between the two. We have a choice. The world's way, selfishness, materialism, temporary pleasure. And Jesus' way, love, sacrifice, eternal joy. Dear friends, which path will you choose? The Beatitudes are a roadmap to true happiness. If we live them, we will find lasting joy, not just in this life, but in eternity. True happiness is not about what we own, but about how we love. Choose the way of Jesus, and you will find lasting joy and happiness. Amen. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.